Hey, how's it going, guys? It seems like you guys have been enjoying more of the Nintendo coverage as far as deals are concerned, so I wanted to take it one step further and take a look at some of the best eShop deals available right now for under $10. Now, eShop games are generally sometimes a little bit higher in price compared to their PlayStation, PC, or Xbox counterparts. For example, Resident Evil 4 is like $14.99, which I just find to be way too expensive. But there are definitely a lot of games under the $10 price threshold that are pretty good. Now, truth be told, there are a ton of games looking through everything that was under $10 that I have never played, I've never even heard of, so I can't cover everything, but picked out some decent offerings, and hopefully, if time permits, I can start widening my gaming horizons, so to speak, and I can play some of the more niche titles that are available on the eShop, because there's a ton of them. There's a ton on the PlayStation Store as well. But first, I do want to mention that we're uploading a lot of videos this season with a lot of deals coming up. If you guys can, please hit that bell notification icon. You'll be notified whenever we upload a video. And you can keep up to date with everything that we're throwing up. We're covering deals, and we're still talking news, doing some top videos, all that good stuff. So let's get right into it, and let's start things off with Rayman Legends, the Definitive Edition, which is 75% off for $9.99. If you guys are familiar with my PlayStation Store deals videos, you guys know that I always give Rayman Legends a lot of love. Loved Rayman Origins. Rayman Legends is just as good, if not better. A fantastic platformer that is accessible to just about any age group with great visuals that are going to age really, really well. Like, this is going to be a game that I think people can go back to in 5 to 10 years from now and still have a great time. I mean, this game came out in 2013, so yeah, it's already been 8 years since it came out, but 10 years from now, I think it'll still be a game you can go back to. It has really solid art direction, presentation, the levels are well done, and there's a lot of levels as well, and for $9.99, I just think this is an awesome pickup. Definitely go check this out, especially if you're a fan of platformers. Wish Ubisoft would do more with the Rayman IP, but hey, thumbs the breaks, I guess, these days. Next up, we have Ashtray. Now, this is a game that I played a lot of on PC. Well, I played the entirety of it on PC. It's got a throwback art style, which I think looks absolutely fantastic, and some of the visual effects look great in this game. Gameplay is solid, and if you want something a little bit different, but also harkening back to some older titles with a little bit of bloody animations as well, even in this pixel graphic style, I think Ashtray is a great title that doesn't get a lot of love. I mean, this is a game that doesn't have a ton of buzz surrounding it, and a lot of people don't even know about it. I was lucky to check it out via, I believe, a Humble Bundle, and then I just randomly was like, okay, this game looks pretty cool, and I played it on PC, had a great time with it, and for $7.49, still a little bit on the pricey side, given that it's, what, over 2 years old at this point, at least the PC release is, but, yeah, I still think it's a pretty good pickup at this price point. Next up, we have Bioshock Infinite, the Complete Edition, which is down to $7.99. Now, the base game is $19.99, and obviously there's a collection available, which is often going for like 20 bucks on sale. If you just want to pick up one game, though, Bioshock Infinite for 8 bucks, I still think is a pretty good pickup. They're all on sale for $8 a pop, so not a bad pickup. Obviously, if you can, go get the collection. It's not on sale right now, but that's a great pickup. All three of the games are really good, but Bioshock Infinite is the one that I like the most. I just thought it had super tight gameplay, and as far as a first-person shooter from a gameplay standpoint, it is a very, very well done. Like, just mechanically, it feels solid, and then the presentation is, of course, great. The setting is awesome. The story is gripping. Just a very good title, and $7.99 for an excellent first-person shooter here. Would highly recommend it. Next up, we have Onimusha Warlords, which is 50% off for $9.99. Onimusha is a game that, to be fair, I have a little bit of a bias towards. I was a big fan of this game back on the PlayStation 2 days, just the franchise in general, and maybe I'm shilling for the game because I desperately want Capcom to make another title, but it's a solid action game. Now, bear in mind, while this is like a remastering of sorts, I would say that if you go into it, expect a bit of a dated action-adventure game, just because, you know, it came out back in, I want to say, 02 or 03, so it definitely shows its age and wear and tear, so to speak, but I still found it to be an enjoyable game. Maybe it was a bit of nostalgia carrying me through, but for $9.99, I think it's a solid action game from a relatively iconic franchise that hopefully, if it continues selling well, I will ultimately get my Onimusha 4 one day. Next up, we have Child of Light Ultimate Edition, which is 75% off for $4.99. Love this game from Ubisoft. Man, if Ubisoft could put out more compelling and unique IPs like this, I know Riders Republic is kind of unique, but man, they did a great job with Child of Light. Well, they published this game, so I'm going to give them credit. Whoever developed it did a great job. The studio escapes me right now, but the game is great. More of a coming-of-age RPG story with a fantastic art style. This is another game that's going to age so well going into the future, and if you want an engaging, relatively accessible RPG with a pretty good story, $4.99 for Child of Light, the Ultimate Edition, is excellent in my opinion. Definitely go check it out. A great pickup here. I'll also note that there is a Child of Light Ultimate Edition and Valiant Hearts The Great War bundle for $7.49. Excellent deal on this as well. Unfortunately, Valiant Hearts The Great War is not on sale as a standalone title. That's still at its MSRP of $19.99. But Valiant Hearts The Great War, another game with awesome presentation, great art style, more of an emotionally gripping game in my opinion, and a very interesting story there as well. Interesting cast of characters, and while the base game isn't on sale like the standalone game, if you want to get both Child of Light and Valiant Hearts The Great War, $7.49 for that is an awesome pickup as well. Next up, Steamworld Dig is $2.49. Great pickup on Steamworld Dig. This is a game that is a Metroidvania, and it's a pretty well done one. It doesn't get a lot of buzz, but I will say that while this is a good pickup and it's super cheap at $2.49, Steamworld Dig 2 is also on sale, $7.99 for this one. If you want to spend a little bit extra, no bones about it, Steamworld Dig 2 is the superior game. It is just artistically brilliant, it is great from a gameplay standpoint, and it is a Metroidvania done really well. Mechanically well done, and for $7.99 again, I think it's a great pickup. If you want to stay on a budget, Steamworld Dig 1 is a fine pickup as well, but Steamworld Dig 2 is really where it's at. Next up, mentioned that Resident Evil 4 is at a pretty egregious price point in my opinion, but Resident Evil Revelations, on the other hand, for $7.99, I think this is a very good pickup. Revelations is a title that I played back on the Nintendo 3DS, and then it ultimately got ported to just about every platform. I think it's even on, like, the Wii U. But Resident Evil Revelations is a really good game. Now, visually, it's not going to be absolute blowaway. It's a 3DS game at the end of the day, but it still looks pretty decent, and gameplay-wise, it's pretty good. Story is solid. Not the lengthiest game in the world, but we're not going into Resident Evil expecting a 20-hour experience anyway. For $8, this is one title that a lot of Resident Evil fans did miss out on, given its original release. Maybe you didn't want to pick it up on the 3DS or whatever the case may be. At $8 though, great pickup. And lastly, this is one underrated gem that I do want to give a mention to, and it's dirt cheap. State of Mind is 90% off for $1.99. This is a game that I was following leading up to its release back in 2018 because it just had such a quirky and interesting presentation style, and at that time I was like in such a kick of like story-driven games. And State of Mind, while I would say that the story has some very high points, there are also some things that left me scratching my head a little bit. But if you want a sci-fi futuristic game with a story-driven, you know, it being story-driven, State of Mind is a really good pickup, and unfortunately, a game so many people missed out on, but give it a look at $2. I think, you know, maybe at the initial $20 price point, or maybe it was $30, it was a little bit too expensive, and some people bought it and were a little disappointed by it, and I can understand you having your issues with it, but for $2, it's a game that I think some people will absolutely love, and some people might be disconnected to the whole style of the game, but it's not a big risk at this point. $2, check it out. You might be pleasantly surprised with this one, so I wanted to give that one a shout. But that's going to do it for me. Again, all of the Nintendo Switch deals that I would recommend right now under the price of $10. There's some deals above $10. I mean, we could talk about Neo The World Ends With You again. That's $42 though, so, you know, let's stay on a budget at first, and then we'll talk the more expensive titles in a little bit. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. I got my Nintendo Switch Lite coming in today, that Pokemon variant, so I'm very excited about that. Be opening it up and maybe checking out some stuff, and super excited for Pokemon as well. But my rambling done. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you have any requests for future videos, you can leave that in the comments as well. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.